What a day it's been already here. Another day, match day 14 for the ESL Pro League. And already we've seen some action on both streams, both first and secondary stream. You can catch all of the action both here and you'll be able to find the B stream if you click that magic button on live.proleague.com. Now, joined by Henry G at the desk, taking a little break from his casting career to hang out with us in his rather nautical shirt. Yeah, because Chad requested it. He wants to be in the limelight, wants his voice out there to the world. So I said, yes, Chad, you can do it. So it's absolutely fine by me. Give him his opportunity. Yeah, you bowed the knee. You're like, look, man, get just a little bit of a taste of what I live on a daily basis. You know, spread the love around. Understood. Now, before we do get into what's going down coming up, Yanko's joining us as well. We are going to be talking capable of doing analysis. But that's because, Yanko, you're going to be doing this. You're going to be talking a little bit about what we've seen so far. It's very early in the day, and already we've seen G2 versus Envy and AGO pulling no punches. Yeah, putting some massive points on the board for them. You know, they were down towards the bottom of the standings, and they're fighting for survival here, their first season in Pro League. So great results from them last night against Astralis, today versus Hellraisers, and we saw G2 stomp Envious. Yeah, that AGO score is actually really surprising. I'm actually a bit of a Hellraisers fan. I think they're a nifty little unit, and they got absolutely wrecked there. That's interesting. So AGO actually turning some heads right now. Yeah, absolutely they are, and it's not too late. This is kind of the week where you need to start getting points if you want to. We're kind of coming to a head now, right? You need to really start getting those points on the board at this stage, right? So it's good for them. They've just got 9 in the bag. 9 in 2 days, yeah. Spectacular work from AGO. A win versus Astralis as well. If you haven't seen it, TOAO. We can't call him Tower, Toad if you're Sadakist, whatever you want to call him, you can just go ahead and you can go ahead and check that clip out. 1v3 on Train, it's absolutely nuts. But while we're on the topic of nuts plays, this is an interesting topic of discussion. Before we move into FaZe versus North, we're talking about skilled players. We're talking about players that we consider and deem the most skilled. Is that why you brought me on the desk? You just wanted to kind of like honor me with this title? As in, like, we're about to walk in with the award and be like, guys, and because of that, here he is. No. Interesting conversation to be had, though, and I do feel like there's like 1 or 2 answers that we're going to hear a lot. Sure. But we'll start with you, Yanko, actually, just because I'm intrigued. Is it as simple as simple? Well, I think at the moment, you know, he is having an incredible run of form, and especially so considering how much his team is struggling, right? We tend to give excuses to some players saying, well, you can't really stand out individually if your team is struggling as a whole, but Simple manages to do so. So he is definitely the obvious one. Most skilled. We're using that word skilled. I imagine that's mechanical skill we're referring to. I think Nico and himself are definitely the number 2 up there right now. I'd actually put Oscar up in that category as well, and most skilled. In terms of, we're just focused on the AWPs. Like, he's unbelievable in terms of his mechanical skill and things that shouldn't be possible with the weapon he does time and time again. For me, he's the most skilled AWPer right now, not necessarily the best AWPer, but I think he's the best in that kind of particular category. And that's a name I wasn't expecting. We'll see if it cropped up again, because our sponsors Betway actually spoke to some of the professional players over at an event and get to hear their answers. Let's see if they're similar.
Who is the most skillful CSGO player right now?
That would have to be Nico. If you talk skill, it's definitely him, like no competition. But I don't know for communication and team play and stuff like that. You don't really know looking from the outside, but when you look at his aim, it's pretty crisp.
coldzera is the best player in the world, but if you talk about skill only, I think Simple is one of the best,
Nico or Simple right now, but there's always someone else popping up, like Rain was doing last year. He was, I think he was even better than Nico, and Creams is doing really good right now. So there's always one or another player showing up each month.
It's Simple, of course. I was Nico. I'm not sure how is Nico doing like last couple of months, because I'm not sure he's playing a lot. But I know that Simple is playing huge amount of time, and it's definitely Simple.
Say right now, no question, Nico. He's just like, his aim is so mechanical, and he always knows when to spray, when to tap, and when to burst. So yeah, Nico.
Rain is extremely good, but coldzera has just done it for so long. He's just dominated for so long. I would say it's between right now Simple, Rain, and coldzera.
I think you have to say Nico. I think he has the best aim. His shooting style just like makes that much more quantified, just because if his first shot's on, which it like usually always is, he's always going to be hitting some insane frags, and he has a lot of aggressiveness and a lot of confidence to go for whatever type of play. And I think that if you're a confident, aggressive, you know, high impact player, that like does a lot more than being like a really safe passive player that like always gets like those safe kills. Like the aggressive player like Nico is just gonna win you around, and I think that's sick.
I would say either Nico or Simple. After the sick performance Simple had at SLTV, I would say him, but like Nico and Simple are just way ahead of others, I would say.
Individually, I think maybe it's Nico from FaZe, maybe Rain. I think they are really good players.
Can I say 2 players?
Yes.
Okay. The first, Get Right, because he teaches me a lot, and the second, coldzera.
It's simple, for sure. I mean, you can say Nico, but just look at Simple, just like his statistics. I think statistics don't mean everything, but if you actually watch Simple play, his raw skill is immeasurable. Like, he's insane, and I think that he's just getting started probably, so it's kind of scary.
Probably Nico, coldzera, Simple, Rain. But if I had to choose one, probably Nico.
Myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were waiting for someone to say their self, and finally someone has.
Nico, coldzera, Simple, Rain does seem to be the general consensus, and these are the 2 names that cropped up the most. So interesting that a team that outside of the Pro League have been having their fair share of struggles, and Simple just really head and shoulders above the rest. His stats do tell a whole story.
Are these stats just within the Pro League?
This is within the Pro League, yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. Well, Simple is obviously a lot more impressive in that sense because he has to be with Na'Vi, and where they're losing most of their games, and he still posts those sort of astronomical numbers, Alex. That's insane. Nico in a team like that, obviously very skilled player, one of the absolute best, but it's difficult to compare the stats like that considering the disparity in the 2 teams.
And we're talking about skill, we're not talking about results, but yes.
Yeah, Get Right, said Hobbit. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he didn't understand the question, but I think this is the obvious and the easy choice, because you need to realize when you talk about skill, it's what are players capable of doing individually. Both Simple and Nico can pistol, op, rifle, entry, lurk. They really can do it all. Whatever you need from them, they can clutch, right? So you put them in any sort of a situation, they will be able to deliver. While some of the other guys, yes, very good at their particular role, very effective, like coldzera, for example, but if you force him to do some different things, can he be as good? Maybe he can, but we just don't know.
And actually, this is a weird one for you, Hank, but just I'm interested to know if there has been an evolution. You competed in a different time in Counter-Strike. Was there still this kind of, the best player was an all-rounder, or is this something we've developed into as it's got more and more competitive?
Like, obviously there are different roles and everything like that. Like, it's difficult, like, if you're talking about my era and I played on, a lot of still the same players that still play now. So RPK was considered the best player for us.
Could he do it all, though?
He couldn't do it all. And then we had Guardian within Source as well. He was considered the best sniper, but he wasn't necessarily considered the best player. So it's difficult to really grab that category and say it's black and white. So this is the most skilled player, because AWPing and rifling are some players that don't do both, right?
The roles were almost more concrete.
And would you suggest like someone like Device, who can do AWPing at world-class levels on both ends of the spectrum, and rifling, of course, then would you think like he's up there and more worthy of it than Nico, who only AWPs sometimes? It's difficult to really grab.
That's actually a very interesting name to pop up. Device, he is a similar player to like Nico and Simple in that sense, but that's where you feel, the style that Astralis has been running for the last 2 years or a year and a half, a bit constrained him as an individual, right? That's the thing, no one ever says, even when you were playing Astralis like a year ago, no one would say necessarily they feared Device. They would say maybe Kirby or Xyp9x, right? Xyp9x because of clutching, oddly enough, and Kirby because he was at times that X factor, and Device didn't really put the fear into you. He will always deliver, he was very consistent, he would get those kills and all of that, but he wasn't a player you really fear. So you wonder now, with this new lineup, we see that they're trying to change up the style a little bit, whether he will have a bit more freedom and maybe become a player that you're going to fear coming into the server.
Yeah, I think the biggest fear for North is that Mertz is going to DC again. They'll be going into this one. Then
they still won that game.
They did win.
Fear or hope.
Yeah,
you look at it.
Core came in and actually still won the game with them. Another North Academy player coming into the ranks.
Yes, Acore did manage to get himself into double digits and just pull his weight in order to keep themselves a big 3 points in that overpass game. Now they're going up against FaZe, though. This is a bit of a different opponent. I mean, playing against G2, uncomfortable on the map.
You do say that, but you have to remember we've got Exist coming into FaZe now. They did not look amazing. They lost the first match to Envious on Cash yesterday, and they looked very poor, very average in terms of like Cash is historically a very good map for FaZe. On that T side, they're really fantastic on it. They look disjointed and almost out of sync, and that's understandable. Like I said, when Exist joined, they probably didn't spend the time scrimming with him. They just kind of went over his role. This is how you're going to do for all of Mice. You're going to do this. That would be the most effective use of your 2 days, I think, instead of maybe playing a couple of games short to get the feel for it. But it's understandable they lost that one, and maybe a chance for North North to cause another upset here, considering they beat GT yesterday, and Envious have already taken North map off FaZe.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, as we're talking about FaZe Clan, we do have an opportunity to actually hear from the in-game leader. Now, this was, of course, prior to the Olaf Meister taking a break from the Counter-Strike, and so we're not going to necessarily hear about that, but we do get to hear about the FaZe squad from the in-game leader. So why don't we take a look at that before we dive into the under the hood.
So in a team like FaZe, you cannot deny that we have 4 strong players who always wants to have voice in some regard. The good thing about this team is that Rain never says anything. He has a very quiet personality. So I have to deal with 3 other players who often wants to have a say in some regard. But what I've realized is Olaf gives me a lot of control. He really believes I'm a good leader in what I do. And it's always good to have a guy like Nico who has a strong saying and has also been in-game leading, so we can push each other to be the best we are. And I think that's good, and the whole chemistry in the team is very good right now, and has been that since day one. And I think it's because of the strong winner mentality in the team that everybody knows we do whatever's best for the team and not for players. Of course, there will always be pressure on me as an in-game leader because I'm the guy that everybody looks to saying why we don't replace him and put another star in the team. So it's my responsibility to glue the team together, and when it doesn't work in games, people often look, well, they can't win on T-side, so it must be the tactics that you have the best player in the world. But it's pretty hard if you're not even in the team to see how the team works around each other, who's doing what behind the scenes. And I think as long as my team doesn't put pressure on me, I don't really care what people think about this. I have been in 3 different lineups and take 3 different lineups to a top 3 in the world, Astralis and the former lineup with Nico as well in FaZe. So I'll just keep doing what I do the best I can, and if not, then they have to replace me.
Kerrigan there saying he's taken 3 teams to the top 3 of Counter-Strike. Now that may be true, however, there is a little bit of a monkey on his back.
Yes.
Kerrigan has been unable to break this, what seems like a curse.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell the story better than I.
Well, I guess Jank is probably the best for this job, but overall, the idea is he can't win the trophies, like the majors aren't coming to him. Yeah. That's been a massive problem, and even with this team of FaZe, we've got arguably the best roster ever assembled in CSGO, they're still not finding the success they really want at the end of the day.
It's baffling, isn't it, Janko?
Yeah, I think the problem is you look at what this lineup is made for and how close they came to really maybe being the most dominant lineup ever, considering the level of competition, right? Imagine if they won that Oakland final, if they won the major, if they won Katowice, right? A lot of these tournaments, just those 3, right, where they were the favorites and even had the lead in some of them, that would all of a sudden make this lineup. They won so many premier tournaments, they won a major, the Intel Grand Slam, they would they would be within reach of claiming that one as well. One of the most dominant tournament runs ever in New York, winning E-League, right? The E-League Premier, that was a very, lengthy, difficult tournament, winning ECS one. So there's definitely been trophies for this FaZe lineup, and big trophies and winning big series. The problem is there hasn't been enough as they would have liked, and the SK rivalry, right? Not being able to really beat them actually in a best-of-3 series and get over that hurdle have been the 2 big kind of caveats with asterisks with the current FaZe roster and their achievements.
It's probably as well, I mean, they might be quietly celebrating when they saw SK making changes. Perhaps that curse will be lifted now. Stewie 2K has donned the jersey.
It hasn't looked too good for them, at least the first showing, the inaugural visits to the Pro League. I think they picked up 1 map out of 6 yesterday in their kind of online games, everything like that. But that's still, you can't really take too much away from that.
0. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of critics and a lot of fans willing it to fail, and a lot of people hoping it does succeed. I mean, from both sides of the camp. However, not much to be garnered from the first week of play with very little time to kind of get comfortable. And the same could be said for FaZe. They are playing with Exist now.
Sure.
And we talked a little bit about what that contributes for him. Not only is it putting himself in the shop window, it's also very few players in the world are going to get an opportunity like this.
It's great for him. Like, he's gone from NIP, kicked from that team, to now in the #1 team. Like, he's only going to be there for a couple of months potentially, but I'm not sure. He's definitely if there was a man for the job, I think, Freiberger himself. They can just come in, they're a safe pair of hands, they're experienced, they've played in big tournaments, they can handle themselves on stages. Definitely not as capable in terms of fragging as Olaf Meister, probably about 60% of the capability in terms of actually finding kills, but he'll know what to do just to play safe CS, I think.
Yeah, fragging capability and also just style, you know, Olofmeister, for me, he was one of the most important players, certainly for FaZe, because when it came to those final games, he would always deliver, you know, with some big plays, clutches, right? He and Guardian are probably their two best players when it comes to those finals. When you look at the ones they lost, those two were probably the two guys that faltered the least, right? And some of the great mid-round decisions and mid-round calls, that's maybe where Exist can also have some good input, seeing as how he is an in-game leader as well, can help Kerrigan a little bit. But yeah, definitely going to be a hit for FaZe in the long run, but in the short run, everyone feeling a bit less pressure, you know, not just for Exist because he's a stand-in, but the rest of the team is also playing with a stand-in, gives you a sort of an excuse. You can be a bit more loose in your style and maybe unleash some of that firepower and individual skill that they most certainly possess.
Now, I just saw Akor's name on that list.
Is he back at it again? Has he got Mert?
I feel like that could just be an error.
I think that's just from last night because he was fragging, right? So I don't think he'll be playing tonight. That'd be really weird. It'll be AZ instead of him.
Yes, AZ will be jumping on the server
But he's
instead.
around that part, 60 ADR.
Yeah, you can see what he managed to get up to in his...
Fair enough.
It was, I mean, but, you know, you have to bless his cotton socks a little bit. Just a random message, like you check your phone, you're like, get on your PC now, we're playing a game.
G2. Already. Can he get AWP
Can
against
you
him?
AWP as well? Yeah, that'd be great. Cheers, man. Like, you've had better days, for sure.
Still won.
They did pick up the win. And
See, Alex, you would never make it. Like, that's not the right attitude. The attitude you have is, yes,
Now's
there's
my chance.
Now's my chance. I finally got it. I'm stepping in. I'll show them what I got. Who the hell is Kenny S?
I'm not much of a professional Counter-Strike player. If it was something else, perhaps I would have seized the moment. For me, not ready to go ahead and start opening versus
yodeling, perhaps?
I'm a big yodeler, actually. It's something I've been working on for a while. Yanko has not quite been making as much progress as I have. But yodeling, do look up some tutorials. It's actually more easy than you perhaps would imagine. So from yodeling into predictions, we are going to be jumping into this one very soon. And we haven't talked too much about North. So let's angle our predictions towards the likelihood of North taking this one. Is it just going to be that crutch? Yanko, do we start talking about? We do. We're going to be going to train first.
Okay, into train first. Classic FaZe map, really. I don't know what they're going to be doing with Existo. I'm not really sure. I think the fact of Nico working main entrance and on the T side especially, I think they'll get a lot of rounds here, just for superior skill. North have not looked amazing recently. I feel like it will be a good game, competitive game. North probably get 10 on the board, but FaZe should be coming on top.
Especially if they start on that CT side, build up a nice little cushion.
Yeah, it will be interesting though, because all of you used to play B, right, on train. That's such a crucial position on the map. We'll see how they decide to go about that one. And yeah, FaZe the favorite, but with a good start, North can take it.
Absolutely, they can. We're going to head over to your casters now. Mixing and matching here for the ESL Pro League. A special treat for you. We have Chadney and Harry. Jarry, how you doing?
You didn't come up with a good throw, did you?
Well, I just thought about it. As I said, we have a nice pair for you.
It's not as happy
Jarry. Take it away, Jarry.
Henry and Harry. Anyway, Harry, how do you feel about Counter-Strike?
Big fan, actually.
Okay, well, yeah, that's all that really matters, man. That's all that really matters. But we don't have Akor and we do have AZ, so the lineup is as it stands with the full crew for North, and they've taken Brown Wall's control very quickly here. Just a pop flash taking control. They have that smoke flash on MSL and an extra smoke on Valdo. Now, teams do this to make sure that information can't be gathered by aggressive players. They've also got old mate MSL lingering over towards T main, making sure people can't push Ivy or T middle, and looks like they want to deploy their smokes and head down Pop Dog, and they will be greeted by very angry Rain.
That's a quick shot up into AZ. Now he's going to go to get out of Pop. Of course, Rain, he's a big fan of Train. It's pretty good on this map. So you're going to be throwing some outside smokes here from North. They're going to execute out in towards this A-bomb site. Coming in through Pop Dog and main they go. Nico's able to open up, and a second. Okay, he's just completely destroyed one of the two prongs in this attack, and he's not done yet. In with a third. This man is dismembering North. He's on 3, wants to try and find the 4th, but Valda is going to start to form a bit of a hasty retreat. 14 HP. Not expecting too much from him here.
Just needs to die. I don't mean that in the negative sense at all. I just mean the fact that he shouldn't try and hold on to this P250. Just go down, make sure that he can get the bonus heading into the next round, and Rain will finish him off, and that's a quick one for FaZe, based off individual prowess of Nico. Bang, 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 and easy as that on top of the 6th train. We get the replay here. There's one nice one tap. Make it 2. Making it look too easy. Oh boy, Nico. Now going into this one, we do have a little bit of a pistol upgrade coming up by North. CZ and Flash on MSL, the in-game leader. Deagle's across the board, and then Mertz with a P250. He is the AWP player. Will not be upgrading to armor, meaning for the first gun round, he should have that AWP regardless of what happens here. a normal approach you want with these deagles. Spread out, take some long-range duels, but Nico's taking the fight to them, pushes out 2 huge kills onto Kirby and Valde. Using that M4 like an AK, tap, tap, taparoo. Putting him down. He wants to take a bigger bite of the cherry as he continues to fight, but that smoke is shroud AZ. And the bomb is down. That appears to be the biggest issue for North right now.
Yeah, they have to go ahead and try and get that back. Missed shot from AZ. MSL's going to go down in the meantime. And yeah, this round's pretty awful if you are a North fan.
I don't know how many North fans there are out there at the moment. They've had a bit of a tumultuous time. Copenhagen Games didn't go too well for them. And then ever since the integration of Mertz, Config and Cajun getting the boot, things have been interesting, but the man in question, the new addition, the young gun, the academy player, is going to find one. Bit of consolation there, but FaZe, you can quickly see on that radar, are chasing him down, but Exist. Temporary stand-in. We are going to be talking about this man a lot throughout the course of this game. Takes down Mertz, finishes the round, and we should be seeing a full eco coming here. There's 2 nice kills here. Bang. Bang, bang. Good night. Unlucky he didn't get the third there. Now this full eco coming out, we aren't even seeing a flashboard up. There's only 1 kill that's happened throughout the game, and that was the one Mertz just grabbed there, so not too much extra cash to work with. Grouping towards white walls. We'll be heading towards the inner section of the map. Should be an eco mop here for Exist, who is just playing in the shoes of Olof. This is the position he was playing for FaZe before he had to duck away for personal issues. And Exist, as mentioned by Nico on Twitter, he's just going to be filling those roles, just be playing those positions. No change for FaZe clan. Oh no, I hate to see that.
Well, you know, Mert's going to get rid of that 1 kill that he worked so hard to get in the previous, as he does TK. And that's a nice mop up there from FaZe. They keep that under control. We see teams, you know, all too often, even when it's only up against those Glocks, it can be quite easy, you know, to lose control of that inner bomb site. And well,
it's quite interesting how the new HUD has countered the kill, or the team kill of Mertz as an extra frag. So bit of stat padding there. I didn't know that was the case. Maybe he'd be TKing every round, but we won't see the AWP come out in his hands. He hasn't picked it up. He's opted for 2 flashbangs of smoke and a Molotov instead of that AWP with the Kevlar. Be interesting to see how they deploy this. Looks like they want to go for quick inside control here. Exists a lot of pressure going to be implied on him early. Nade Molotov comes out and mitigate the rush, and it does appear North want to keep it quick as they team out high ramp, and Exist is going to find an opening kill here. He slowed this down. The rotations come in, and the bomb site is already under North's control.
Nice able to deliver, though. 1 more kill and a second. He's going to be in fighting form right now. The only man ready to put up numbers thus far for North. MSL now chimes in without much more. It's all onto Nico, and while he has looked very, very good in these first few rounds, a 1v3 is no easy feat. He knows it, we know it, and he looks to try and hold on to this rifle. Going to go peeking in. Might find MSL, who has gone aggressive. And there we go, spots him out. Now 1v2. He's looking curious, but Mertz will smite him down. A hat-trick there for him, and North in with their first round.
Yeah, just to note, people may be considering, hey, maybe Nico should go for a save in this environment. Very difficult to retake this bomb site. Because the rounds were so clean for FaZe in the early stages, they built up a big enough bank where him doing damage to the T-side economy was probably more worth it than holding onto that M4. As we can see, they can get this full buy up. Missing a little bit of utility, but across the board, they've all got M4s all better. AWP in the hands of Guardian, and Mertz able to pick up one of his own. Damage exchanged early. Mertz dropping down to 52. Rain taking a little tag himself. Early exchange of nades as we head into that default spread. Pretty standard stuff coming out early from North.
Yeah, and Rain's just peeking over the top of this smoke over in towards main. Valde's going to go on around.
Oh, noisy.
There he is. Going to be heard hopping off the ladder. MSL going to go toe-to-toe with Nico down here in pop, and actually MSL comes up very, very bad in that duel. He's going to be tagged down low. North with a minute and 10 seconds left, and they haven't been able to secure any avenue of this map just yet. No presence over Ivy. They've been working for this pop dog position, and FaZe have done a good job of keeping them out of it for the time being, but they're finally going to get it for free. And now they do have a second prong if they wanted to go for this A play. The play out through pop dog is suddenly viable, but they go ahead and start to pull out of it.
Interesting to note here, based on that first gun round where they were able to put a lot of pressure on Exist on the inside, that has already forced FaZe to play 2 players dedicated to that bomb site. Karrigan and Exist in the site, and smokes are going to rain out into the outer bomb site, but it appears they want to have most of their numbers through pop dog.
They've started to head on in. Mertz, he's opened up, but they haven't accounted for Nico. This time he's only able to get himself one. Carrigan goes straight through the smoke. Not quite able to deny the bomb plant. And Mertz, well, he's on form right now. A second kill in this round. Finally going to be dealt with by Guardian, who does shut down his AWP and counterpart over on North. And now it's Exist, the new boy. Taps that defuse, hasn't baited the peek out from anyone on North just yet. Finally, AZ does come through with it. Now it's Guardian 1 versus 2, but he's taken the first. And Valdir on 10 HP. Guardian going to find it. And defuse will come in. Grabs the kit to facilitate that. FaZe going to be with the 4th round. It comes down to the wire, but Guardian holds his nerve.
That plan is going to allow North to get another buy here, which means they can keep the pressure on FaZe. FaZe losing so many members right now. We've got 3.9, 3.8. Their money's not fantastic, so the weapons that they are probably going to opt to pick up will be the UMPs. Your FAMAS will come out here, there, and everywhere. Guardian should be able to drop a gun himself, but he did invest in that AWP. And the previous round was able to salvage it. And we do have a really weird spread, and I was incorrect. North not opting for the buy. Don't want to keep the pressure on the economy based off those plans. Thought they might scrounge together a bit of a force buy because they would have had a pretty good idea that things are looking hot in the FaZe camp. But Carrigan, aggressive as always, pushes out, finds one, immediately traded by the hands of Kirby's Deagle. Now things slow. Exist getting curious towards the inner bomb site though. Might find a duel against MSL, and we'll find the kill. Takes a lot of damage. Down to 39 HP, but no one there to trade. He is able to get out of dodge, hold on to the weapon and the information. Oh, Nico's looking sharp.
Yeah, you kind of love to see it. He, okay, gonna get down to Valdir, but still, I mean, yeah, his aim has been very crisp. Valdir's in with a second, though, and now it's all on Mertz. He's been the star thus far for North in this map. He has retrieved the Deeg from Valdir. Tags down Guardian, but Guardian holds the angle and does manage to find him. So FaZe in with their 5th. And now, North, of course, that previous round, just buying the pistols now. Now they have money to invest. It's going to be AKs across the board. No AWP out for Mertz, though. I feel like that might come as a bit of a hit to them.
Yeah, well, he's had a lot of impact, like you were mentioning, right? Yeah. He has the highest kills on his team. Now, sure, we had the bit of the issue there with the TK. But on the gun round, or especially on the one they won, and the one that got very close, but Guardian was able to salvage the 2-on-1 scenario, was Mertz with a lot of impact, some big frags. Good signs from the youngster early. Once more, the standard play. You can see here, look to the top left of your screen, ladies and gentlemen at home. You've got the spread. You've got 2 players over towards the inner bomb site, drawing out utility, putting pressure on Exist here. A man on your screen, forcing him to panic and call for rotations. You've got 1 player above Pop Dog, making sure there's no pushes in that part of the map. A player watching for the Ivy push, which was Mertz finding that frag onto Rain, getting a little bit too curious. And numero 6, MSL is actually over that part of the map as well. So they're just watching for the pushes, T-Mid and Ivy. But they did find the opening kill, which does favor the rotation of the Ts. They're not in a rush by any means. They want to cross their T's, dot their I's, bomb left all the way over there towards Team Middle. They're waiting for re-aggression. Now this makes sense because normally the CTs have to get very aggressive to find information, and right there is exactly what they wanted. Carrigan walks into the hands of Kirby, but Guardian in a bomb site, finding information, finding a big kill, and maybe this will force the hand of North to head somewhere else.
It does look like they've started to make their way onto A in the back of these circumstances. Nico's going to fall in this take, leaving it on Guardian and Exist. 2 versus 4. And of course, this is the same duo that was able to win out the 2-on-2 just a couple of rounds ago. Guardian sneaking on in, full on Cyclops mode as he has the corner with this AWP. Exist reluctant to join up with him. Does already look like they're poisoning themselves with a save here.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so North going to be in with that second.
Economy's not looking too fantastic here. Big round by North. That opening killed. So obviously Rain got aggressive over towards Ivy. They hadn't heard any nades or flashes. And must have been a big shot from Mertz to take down Rain in that scenario. Then from there to wait for the aggression. As I mentioned, Carrigan getting hungry. He goes down and they just play the numbers, play the rotation, play the information. And all in all, a relatively clean round for North. Not looking too bad early. Oh. It's always so impressive. Like, I've poured hours upon hours upon hours into this game. But I watch these guys, it still blows my mind. Still blows me bloody mind.
How many hours do you have, Chad, in game?
Oh, Jesus, I'll have to check. It's been some time, right? I used to play like 8. Well, when I was working, I could only play like 6 hours a day. But then when we were doing it professionally and stuff, I was playing more like 8 hours a day. I used to have to, though, in Australia, I'd play on a Smurf account because if you'd play like on ESEA or whatever, you get a little bit harassed. So I got a Smurf account with some hours on it as well, but I'm not quite sure exactly how many I do have.
See, I'm sitting pretty about, I think 6,000 hours.
6,000 hours. I don't have 6,000 hours. That is, in all of Counter-Strike, so like I think I probably had like 10, well, actually, CS 1.6 didn't start counting from the very beginning. I think in 1.6 I probably had about 6,000 hours. In Source I probably had something similar. But in CSGO I don't think I'm anywhere near that many.
And yet, you are still infinitely better than me. So you know, there's always that. You know, it's what you can do with it, not how big your hours are. And well, Guardian exists. They can certainly do a lot. They've been able to open up these dynamic duo over towards this B-bomb site. They've held their own this time around. They've been unfaltering. MSL's going to try and answer back, and Nico's got a scout, which is a curious one in this force. MSL and Valde left 2-on-4. Minute and 15 seconds left, and that frag from MSL has opened up at least a window of opportunity for them here. They have a man down in Pop now. Valde's going to start to creep into Carrigan, and Carrigan's not ready for that. So he's going to go to take the brunt of that to the chin. And now Nico up close to this smoke. Valde hiding on in it.
Oh, this is the battle now of the radar. Is the smoke going to appear first for Nico? Is it going to appear first for Valde, who wants to be a bit of a smoke ninja, but he's going to drop to Exist, who wrapped around the back lines and not take him out. Nico with a big shot, just picked up that AK-47. Thank you very much, he says. Grabs a kill on MSL and now puts the economy of North in disarray in the bin. Not looking fantastic. 4.6 on Valde, he has the most. MSL down there on 1,800 and AZ on 1,550. So tough choices here at the North camp as we do have a pause. Tactical timeout from North. That makes a lot of sense. Big decisions to make here, because if they do force into this one, they can probably get a couple of AKs up, and then AZ and MSL can get a pistol with maybe one nade and try and play around these AKs, find some opening kills, etc. to keep pressure on the FaZe economy. Or they take the full save here, they opt to get the AWP up in Mert's hands, and that's the decision that they're probably making right now. That's the discussion I'm sure MSL's having with the team, having with Ave, the coach, trying to work out what the best course of attack is, and they have opted for the force buy here. Valde with that AK, Kyobi able to get a Galil. Deagle on Mertz and AZ. They've been able to do some work with those weapons before, so now it's about how well they use this scrappy buy. If the CTs want to get hungry, if they want to attack as opposed to defend. But we know the objective, Harry, is to defend the bomb sites.
That's very true.
Do you know they say sometimes the best offense can be a good defense? I wonder if it works the same way the other way around.
What, the best defense being a good offense?
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
I mean, that's a pretty good. You know, if you win the fights before they even get to what you're defending, you're pretty set. That's not what FaZe are doing though. They're going for the best defense being a good defense as they hold on to this site, playing it passive. Guardian peeks on over the top of his train-shaped watchtower. Going to go back for more. Misses the second time and a third, but it's through the smoke. Hoping to try and find something. Bomb plant does go in. Man advantage up for FaZe in this retake. 5-on-4. Valde tries to slip by, but Carrigan is positioned perfectly, and now he's in with a second, just tearing North limb from limb. All the rifles are gone from this North force, but Mertz with the Deeg. Gonna chime in with one. Wants to... Oh, and a second. Mertz is feeling spicy right now. Gonna be forced out the site by that Molotov, but no, he's not going down. 3 massive kills. Finally, they get rid of Mertz. But what a run that was from the youngster in North.
Nice shots there by Mertz, showing a bit of Deagle prowess. Exist looks a little bit awkward. I don't want to call him out. Obviously, this is a difficult position for him to be in. He's filling someone else's roles, not necessarily positions that he plays. I'm not expecting him to be a world beater by any means. But he just seems like he feels a little bit out of place in some of these positions. Doesn't quite know the rotations. It's going to take time, I think we all talk about. For him, I think, to find his feet. And now, once more, that plant and the damage that Mertz was able to inflict has really forced North's hand. They've opted for another buy, and it's a fast out Guardian with a big flick there while blind up. He's going to take down Kyobi. More shots rain out through the smoke, and the defensive utility now being deployed by FaZe as they want to stop any attack North had in plan, as Rain, Nico, Carrigan all lighting up the scoreboard, leaving AZ and a UMP. A 1-on-5 with no hope whatsoever. Nico from above the green train. Going to take him down and finish that one nice and quickly. North really need to sort out this money situation because Mertz has got 5k while everyone else is sitting under 3k. They're not really able to get proper gun rounds going here. And if you want to go toe-to-toe with FaZe, probably not the best idea to take it as a heads-up duel because skill-wise, they've got you outnumbered North.
They definitely do. And I mean, this North lineup, I think, you know, since adding Kirby, bringing Mertz in as well, it's been a little bit underwhelming. I think, you know, there's so much potential on a lot of these guys. And it feels like we've never really quite seen them realize that just yet. And I mean, this round, you're not expecting too much from them. It's just the eco. They've got a Deeg up on Mertz. We know he can wreak some havoc with that. But, you know, a couple of upgraded pistols here and there. That's really all there is to write home about. Karrigan's holding aggressive down here towards Ivy. Smoke going to go down. That's going to facilitate him to start to fall back. Didn't spot anything early on. And
that's all right, Harry. We don't have to talk about these rounds.
Good.
These are the ones we can talk about anything we want.
I'm always a big fan of that, Chad.
These are the ones we can talk about. Normally I like picking arbitrary topics. I'm trying to think, is there anything that's happened in my life recently that's worth a discussion? Because I like to make everything about me. I've been playing some Counter-Strike again lately.
Yeah, I actually saw. I saw you're still in. You're still pretty good at it, Chad. I think I saw a couple of pictures here and there. Maybe gonna roll back the years, reform a top Aussie team.
Probably not in Australia by any means. It's a little bit far away from my kind of home, so I'm getting old. I'm 30 before I know it. Nice and easy. They make it a quick one. But yeah, I was playing some FPLC. They let me in the Challenger. And I was playing in there with some of the up and coming players. Always fun to see the talent from around the world. Lots of Russian speakers. We had some fun with my Niets, Dach, Privyet, Placebo. That's about all I learned. Anyway, we're gonna learn right now as we do finally get a full gun round coming out of North. Once again, 3 members moving towards the inner site. 2 to take box hall control, 1 to cover off Pop Dog. 1 member to cover the Ivy push, and 1 to make sure Team Mid is under control of North. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I explain this time and time again, this is a default. They spread out, they call out the information, they call out the utility. They relay all of that to the in-game leader, who just got a frag onto Rain, dropping down Pop Dog, and from there they make a concise decision. Now, with that number advantage, we have seen them play it well earlier on in the piece. Let's see if they're able to do it again here. Last time they just waited. They waited for re-aggression from FaZe, and they were able to get Karrigan sleeping. Can they do it again?
Yeah, you can see Karrigan was toying with the idea of heading into Ivy there, but the side's against it. Not going to overstep their mark this time around. FaZe playing a much more kind of turtle down approach. Kirby and Valley down here towards Ivy. That's the bomb on the back of Kirby as they look to try and start to make their way out towards A. Looks like we're going to see a 3-pronged attack in from Ivy, Main, and Pop Dog. And Guardian's rotated in from B. Karrigan wasn't connected, but he's just gone ahead and gone for a hefty rotation deep into that B bomb site. So you're really looking at Guardian and Nico here to have to try and buy time for these rotations. And Nico's going to fall at the first hurdle. Now it's all eyes onto Guardian. He misses that first shot. He's going to get pincered in, and AZ's able to pick him up, no problem. Just existing Karrigan left. 10 seconds here. Not able to deny the bomb plants. That will go down, and Karrigan's going to fall at the hands of Mertz, leaving this all on exist. And 1v4. He's not going to be feeling his luck here, so he will go ahead and retreat. North pick themselves up a third. Once again, when they pick up the man advantage, success does seem to follow.
Probably worth a save from Exist. I don't think doing too much damage to the T-side economy. You know, he's not going to be able to find too many kills as he whiffs away, loses to MSL in that duel and loses the M4. Now, Karrigan is the only player right now on the side of FaZe without a lot of pennies in the bank, but he can be dropped. We do see the full investment coming out from Guardian. He's only left with $100. Can't buy much of that in today's society. But we will have a full gun round right here from FaZe, and this is where things could spiral. This is where it could be a 9-6 half. If they're not able to salvage this round, if they're not able to get this one on the board, North immediately jump to 4 rounds. And not only that, they break the bank, they break the economy. FaZe looking in a horrible position to end the half, and North would definitely be happy with that. That's the place they want to be right now, and they're opting just straight for this inside attack. So much damage being dealt there. Grenades, wallbangs, you name it, going out into above Pop Dog. And so cops a little dink to the back of the head, and they are setting up for this inside execute. just in time. Guardian's rotated over, so keep an eye on him.
Will be smoked off. He has to reposition it. That leaves the pressure on it to Exist. The only man inside the site, still Guardian, trying to get in a position to help, but Exist going to fall at the first hurdle.
He's looking awkward.
Yerby falls on the aggression. Something's given back. Valde tries to play up close in the smoke, but comes to regret that decision. And now MSL and Mertz, they're trying to win this back, but MSL falls to Nico. Now it's Mertz holding from ramp. He's been so good with this AWP. 3 players coming his way. No support from AZ. He has been hung out to dry here. He has to make this stand on his own. He's going to go in with the peak, and Nico is merciless in that play. It's all onto AZ, and Guardian going to land the wallbang. So just like that, Defuse comes on in. FaZe will be on to a 10th round. And for North, that's pretty devastating. They get control of this site. They have it in a 5-on-4 in the retake. And then they manage to have that one slip through their fingers.
And then they get a bit of that old reset feeling right there, right? You know, you lose that round, the economy kind of is stifled. But as you're this late in the piece, it doesn't really matter. You're going to be buying out the remainder of these rounds, and they have opted to do that. They have taken a timeout as how they want to address this situation. Obviously, bullying Exist inside seems to be part of that plan. They were able to catch him with pants down, pulling out a grenade. One of the worst feelings you can ever have as a player. Don't even get a chance to shoot a bullet, and then you fall. If they'll continue that tack, because as you mentioned, as they've got these opening kills, they've been able to capitalize. In that scenario, it's an all-in. It's a set execute. It's going straight in and hoping for the best. It did dedicate a lot of resources. It was a good execute. So that post-plant scenario after they did find the opening kills that fell apart, but they are opting for the buy. UMP in the hands of MSL, the weakest weapon currently on the board. Everyone else looking like they've got AK-47s, utility in hand, and it appears they're heading straight towards this inner bomb site once more with all their numbers. 5 members grouped inside stairs right now. Rain close enough to hear a pin drop, so they need to be careful with their audio cues.
Yeah, but he will be Molotov out for the time being. The issue here is Exist currently inside the B all on his lonesome, and that has allowed Kierby actually to hop on down into pop. They go for the tower on in, and that allows them to find the opener.
And they have that number advantage right now, so let's see if they're able to play it to their advantage once more. This time it does look like an inside attack is going to be coming in pretty quickly. They've cheated Carrigan in. They're playing a 2-2 defense, and that is because you do have Nico in a very aggressive position. Guardian in limbo as well. Here's the attack. Molotov comes in. Exist completely blind. One player runs past, but he will get a kill. Carrigan goes down to the player that slipped through, but Exist unable to chime in with another frag, and Nico on the quick flank is going to get taken down by an off angle by AZ, and it leaves a lot of pressure on Guardian. 1-on-4. We'll find the first flashed up now. Maybe considering the save. This is Guardian we're talking about. The man loves a repick. He loves a fight. He loves a duel. Scampers away, but close enough to take another battle, you know? He's only got 4 deaths here. Does he want to make it 5, or does he want to make the kill count climb? Looks like the save. Look at that bomb timer. She's getting real red. Yeah, that's a consolation, really. That's just adding more kills to the scoreboard, mate. There's not too much to be impressed about right there. Is he going from wallbang? Was that the thought process? Guardian, let me into your brain. Yeah, look at the money. If you take a quick little glance, ladies and gentlemen, to the left-hand side of your screen, you can see that going into this last round, FaZe's economy is not too fantastic. Guardian will be able to drop an M4. They don't have enough to get anywhere near a full buy, and there's only 2 members that are really doing all this work. Nico on 20 frags, Guardian on 16. Everyone else yet to hit double digits. And those sort of things. Mertz is leading the way for North. Lots of impact from the youngster early, the new addition, the academy player. North are in a pretty good position to get their 5th round here, Harry.
Yeah, you know, I think when you look at FaZe right now, there is such an emphasis on Guardian and Nico having to do well that's definitely going to be instilling a bit more confidence the way of North. They're going to slip in through Ivy. Carrigan's holding close, but they check it, and well, Nico's able to find one quickly with the scout. Surely he doesn't get any more. Nico's in with a second. He's fully flushed and almost a third. Valde able to trade. But Nico, the scout king, out towards Ivy, finally to be laid to rest. And Rain doing a stand-up job of holding this A-bomb site. Leaves it now all onto AZ and Valde. 2 versus 3. And AZ just hunkering down, deploying the tent, the camp install everything they need, but he's going to get spotted out by Exist. Leaving this all onto Valde. 1 versus 3. And he has got Exist on his way, but Exist up the ladder like a speed demon. Wins that duel out 11-4 at the end of the first half in favor of FaZe. They will take that scoreline all day long. And North, well, they had a couple of opportunities to get back into that one, but for the most part, it seems like it did elude them. Of course, now they're going to be moving on to that CT side. FaZe switching up over onto the T side.
Yeah, they have had problems on the T side before, right? Just indecision. I'm going to be curious if they have anything to kind of throw out strat-wise. Maybe they'll just try some opening moves and hope that their fraggers can find kills. Winning pistol around here is basically FaZe winning the game. I know it's train, I know it's normally a CT-sided map, but what we've seen out of two squads early is, well, FaZe have 2 players on form, and North have 1. Flawless hit some decent shots, but really the impact for the rounds that they've won has come from Mertz. I think that definitely has to be praised right there.
That is probably one of the most sporadic ADRs I think I've seen in any of these games.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, I mean, you had AZ on 20 ADR, and then Nico up on 160 almost. It's like 150 something. But he's going to be feeling good. And I think, moving to the T side, you could even maybe look at that, lending itself to FaZe that much more, considering how well Nico is doing right now.
You know what I find a little bit amusing here? Though? I don't know. Olaf may or may not buy the utility all the time. I'm not completely sure, right? Like, I'm not in there while they're doing strats. But they've made exist the utility itch. And he's dropped the P250, deployed that smoke towards the outside, has a flash in hand as well. And this attack on the inner bomb side has come very swiftly, but Volde hasn't been caught off guard. He's found 2 big kills. And just for the 3rd, he's going to take Exist as well. And now pressure is on. He's being swarmed to the bomb train. Nico eventually dispatches of the North defender, but Carrigan and Nico have a lot of work to do with AZ. He's going to find a kill, but Nico finds a quick trade. Eventually goes down to Kirby, and the round will go in the hand of North. That's a big pistol round for them to pick up here. Definitely needed that one. No defuse kit. If that got even closer, could have quickly slipped away from them, but some huge shots there from Volde, able to secure the round. Big impact by the most consistent star on North at the moment, I would say. I guess you haven't watched as many of his games lately as I have, Harry, but he seems to be the one consistently putting up the big numbers, stepping up, looking like a more rounded, well-rounded player as well. We've seen more out of him in this iteration of North. As opposed to when he was in Heroic and in early stages of North, he was maybe more of a rock player. Here he's been able to do a little bit more. It feels like he has a little bit more freedom. But it is a eco round coming out. Well, actually, hold up a second. The tactical purchase. I think Henry has deemed it the tactical purchase. Rain with the AK-47. See what he can get done.
Yeah, Rain is currently bottom of the board for FaZe, but he is usually very, very good on this map. He's got this one rifle. They're going to attempt to juggle that around as best they can. If Rain doesn't find success, he's the only man with armor, though. Kirby is homing down the sights over here towards main.
Just so people at home can get an idea of how you want this situation to play out, if you only have the pistols, you want to be finding information for your AK player, so then you can take a duel and hit massive shots like that, as Rain is going to drop MSL, pushes out one more onto AZ. Outside bomb side is open for business, and now FaZe swarm, but Kirby's getting traded out. In a limbo position as the rest of the North players rotate in, and they're going to dispatch with these unarmored players. They're left in a 1-on-2 situation here. 22 points of health. Kirby coming around the backlines. We'll finish him off. Things got very scary there for a moment. But they were able to right the ship, Harry. I got a little bit worried for North.
I mean, that was 3 massive kills from Rain. He's been pretty quiet all game, and then, they needed him to have a big performance there, and he almost, I'd say he does deliver on that. 3 kills with the AK, kind of exactly what you'd want from him. It was a good recovery, I think, from the guys on North to actually be able to pick up some of those pistol players before they could scavenge any of those rifles that were dropped. But now we've got the buy-in from FaZe. AZ still on the MP9, but Valde, he's the lone danger man here at B, and that nade, that's good damage. That is fantastic damage early on. Guardian tag to 47 HP. Here comes the train of FaZe players. They don't check for Valde, and he's going to be allowed to just sit pretty in the corner. A second for him. Kirby mopping up 3, and in the blink of an eye, it's all onto Carrigan. He's going to get a couple into the back from AZ with the MP9, and just like that, North are onto a 7th round. They're going to be feeling pretty good now as they've reset that FaZe economy once again.
The idea there, just obviously hindsight, it's a bit of a, it was 2020. But in that kind of scenario, the rationale from FaZe is, we took 3 guns. We know that they're going to have to drop, and utility is probably going to be low. That means if we go inside, we're not going to be slowed by Molotovs, or there will only be very limited resources to slow us down. We'll team out high ramp, we'll take some duels. We should have the better weaponry in this scenario, but not to be. As you mentioned, they overlooked a position. Here's some Ivy aggression coming out from North. They want information. They want it quick, but Dragon with a big kill, and Mertz will exchange. But I think that favors the T's right now as pressure is on. Kevin and Mertz are lingering. There's a chance for them to take even more damage. And through the smoke, Carrigan with a second. Will they expect Mertz super close? No, they don't. Jumping over. Nico will fall to the 1 HP player. But it is a 3-on-3.
Rain's already actually out over towards this A-bomb site, trying to get deep in. He's going to catch Valder off guard. That's him down, and Mertz still doing damage on 1 HP. Now he has to clutch it out. 1 versus 2. Everyone in the server tag low. 1 shot is all it takes to kill any one of these players right now. And Mertz is already rotated over here towards the B-bomb site. He's going to hear that bomb going down. Carrigan gets it planted. So he knows there's a man inside the site. Doesn't have the information as to where Guardian is, though. Carrigan's going to go aggressive, starts to sneak past Mertz. He has to be the 1 HP hero. 1 HP ace is what we need to see from Mertz. And time is working against him now. Halfway through that clock. Trying to clear out the top here. He's going to go the way of Guardian. Just looks away at the wrong time, and Guardian picks that up. Deeg shot to the face. Is the sound they hear as FaZe lock in a 12th round.
That could have been something brilliant. He could have definitely snuck through the backlines there. He knew that Carrigan was playing up close, able to potentially find that kill onto Guardian, but timing his worst enemy is he swing that corner. He checked the wrong direction. Guardian will punish him with that deagle shot to the back of the head, and now North took the tactical timeout to discuss what to do. Never want to lose a round like that one. That is a massive blunder. Going for the aggression and able to capitalize on any kills really over towards Ivy. The exchange tends to favor the T's on most of the maps we have in Counter-Strike, and once more you see why. Full eco has been opted for by MSL and the boys of North, so they should be absolutely mauled here by the full buy of FaZe.
Yeah, they're just going to try and stack 5 players in towards A, but Guardian has already started to dismantle this stack. Rain could get caught off guard, but no, not going to let that happen. Only up against these vanilla pistols. It's a nice, easy mop-up round for FaZe. They want to do it quickly and keep it clean. So this will be them onto a 13th. And they'll be feeling good about that as they keep 5 players alive. Right now, Nico maybe having some big old flashbacks to his time in Mouse Sports from back in the day. He's been the driving force. But actually, we've seen a good recovery, I think, from Rain in particular. In these last few rounds.
Everyone's contributing, I think, on this T side. Like Carrigan, who was one of the lower fraggers, had 2 big opening kills on that eco round that they just won. So we get on the T side, things are starting to make more sense for FaZe. We don't just have the carry performance from Guardian and Nico to get them through. This will be a gun round. Well, that's a cool flash. I like that one by Carrigan. Moving outside the box, going for a very quick Ivy presence as the rest of his team are all set up. He wants to put pressure on early. You can see how quickly he wants to get this move happening, but the rest of his teammates are already out mid, and Rain's going to drop. Exist will find the trade. The CTs seem to have found the number advantage here. The bomb train is a light, forcing Mertz away. Now we have a bit of limbo.
Nico going to lose that fight versus AZ. Now the pressure's on. It's all on to Exist in the blink of an eye. The ex-ninja is he's going to go down. Doesn't really get anything done. I was trying to build into that. I hope we would have seen some insane play, but no.
Could have been a 1-on-4, Harry. Could have been what we were all waiting for.
The big play from Exist. He's I'm very happy he's found some a chance to play again in this FaZe roster.
Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't remember. A lot of people aren't dinosaurs like myself, but I used to watch Exist playing back in the 1.6 days. He used to play in a team with Carrigan and Freeze, etc. When they were part of Fnatic in 1.6, and they were the best team in the world for a period there. And Exist also was in an earlier iteration, and he was a fragger. Like, that was his job. It wasn't to be an in-game leader. He was groomed by Khan, if I remember rightly. It'd be good to see if he can ever get back to that form of being a top-tier fragger in the scene. Nico will step out. We'll take down MSL. Kyobi going to try and exploit the one way of this smoke. Will they expect another impop? That's the big question mark right here. This is a pivotal position, and the inside pounce is happening. They've taken the bomb site with not too much use of utility or noise. Bomb will go down, and now the CTs definitely know something's up.
But while they expect Valder, who's been waiting ever so patiently here. They have gone walking by for the time being. Rain's holding close. That's so close. So many players coming his way. He's able to adjust and control the spray on at the first. And actually, Exist takes a bullet for him there. But Carrigan, in the meantime, is wrapped around. Keeps the advantage in favor of FaZe. In with a second, almost a third. And Mertz trying to back away, just able to get away. Those fast feet of his lead him to safety. Maybe not, actually. Nico looking to try and cut him off, and he's going to do it. Finds Mertz, looking to try and save, and just like that, FaZe are onto a 14th. They'd be feeling very good about that one. They get into the site quickly. They have loads of utility left. And nice play from Carrigan here as well.
That's a good example of maybe an explosion. It's not a contact play per se, because they would have kept walking until they had found any, I guess, enemies. Here they've gone down low and they've gotten to a point where, hey, we're definitely going to find ourselves in a duel soon. So let's pounce out. Let's use the element of surprise. Let's use the pack to roll on in. Able to find the kills and really isolate the CTs rotating in from Connector. Something cool by Valder to note, he played in between the ladder and the coil, which I haven't seen someone try and use that in that way before. So he's trying to hide as they push up and clear that. Then he can poke out later. But I'm going to get into this round as 3 kills have already been exchanged. The low buy from North right now could reap dividends.
Yeah, they put on fine MSL and pull it back in a 3-on-3 at least, but yeah, Mertz, he's kind of the man up in heaven. Been raining down death with this D has been a real problem. Easy now going to step up to the mark as well. They do manage to trade that out, but they still have Mertz and Valder to contend with. And these are kind of the two big hitters for North. Now Mertz, 7 HP and the Deke in hand. The high-powered hand cannon, the baby AWP has to try and see him through this, but Guardian picks him up, no problem. Valder is able to scavenge himself a FAMAS. You imagine he's just going to look to try and hold on to that. I don't know, he has to go for this. What am I on about? It's 8-14. And he started this wraparound from behind, going to try and head it through Pop.
It's not impossible.
It definitely is not, especially as that bomb hasn't gone down yet. They're not keeping an eye on this. They're both walking this way. They've got no idea. Valder, it's open season for him right now, but Rain's able to recover. And just like that, FaZe, somehow they're going to be on match point, 15-8. And they're feeling good now.
And everything is in the bin right now for North. That could have been a big round to salvage from Valder, but their economy still would have been in a pretty tough spot. You can see right now how bad things are, though. CZ75, Deagles, UMP. Not the ideal buy by any means, by any shape of the imagination. Looks like they're just opting for this 4-pack scenario once more. FaZe quickly out team in, flashes raining over as Rain, the man in question, grabs himself a kill. Mertz with the quick exchange. 2 Deagle kills from him again. Running up the scoreboard continuously, this kid. Getting it done time and time again. Is it going to be enough? As doesn't appear so. Oh wow, this is chaos.
Yeah, what's even happening here? What is Counter-Strike anymore, Chad? Carrigan's 1v1. Somehow he's pulled it back to this. Kirby, well, he does not look long for this world. 7 HP and the Dream. And Carrigan is the Dream catcher. He'll go ahead and shut that down. FaZe win this one out 16-8 in their favor as they manage to stay composed and look good there in the second half.
Yeah, got a little bit chaotic there in that last round, and Kirby having no problems making heaps and heaps and heaps of noise in a one-on-one scenario, basically gifting that one to Carrigan. But all in all, a decent showing from FaZe. They've recovered from yesterday. Things were looking bleak. Exist still looking a little bit awkward, but a victory is a victory as they march forward to Dallas. We'll be back with map number 2 after the break.
Incendiary out.